The unexpected signal. The deep space research vessel Horizon Prime drifted silently through the vast, inky blackness of the Kepler sector. Captain Zara Nomura stood at the observation deck, her dark eyes scanning the holographic star charts that shimmered before her. After 6 months of systematic exploration, their mission had been frustratingly uneventful. Dar. Kai Takashi, the ship's senior xenoarchaeologist, burst through the sliding doors, his typically composed demeanor replaced by an electric excitement. "Captain, you need to see this," he said, his hands trembling as he transferred data to the main display. The holographic projection flickered to life, revealing a complex signal pattern that defied conventional communication protocols. Unlike random cosmic noise or known electromagnetic emissions, this signal bore the unmistakable hallmarks of intelligent design. "It's not natural," Kai explained, his voice a mixture of scientific wonder and barely contained enthusiasm. "The signal's mathematical precision suggests an artificial origin. Look at these fractal patterns, they're too complex to be random." Captain Nomura studied the data, her military training warring with her innate curiosity. The Horizon Prime was a research vessel, not a first contact team. Their primary mission was geological and astronomical survey, not alien encounters. "How far?" she asked, her finger tracing the signal's projected origin. "Approximately 3.7 light-years from our current position," Kai responded. "It's coming from a previously uncharted planetary system in the outer rim of the Kepler sector." Lieutenant Elena Rodriguez, the ship's communication specialist, entered the observation deck. Her expertise in advanced signal analysis made her an invaluable team member. "The signal's been repeating for at least several decades," she confirmed. "But it's not a standard distress beacon. It's more like an invitation." The bridge fell silent. An invitation from an unknown source in the depths of space was both thrilling and terrifying. Captain Nomura made her decision quickly. "Prepare a detailed report. We're changing course to investigate the signal's origin." The next 72 hours were a flurry of preparation. The crew of the Horizon Prime transformed from routine researchers to potential first contact specialists. Dr. Kai Takashi meticulously prepared xenological analysis equipment. Elena Rodriguez worked tirelessly to develop advanced translation algorithms that might help them understand the mysterious signal. Their target was a rocky planet orbiting a binary star system. Preliminary scans revealed an atmosphere capable of supporting carbon-based life, but with unusual composition. Trace elements suggested complex geological processes that differed dramatically from Earth's planetary formation. As they approached the planet, the signal's intensity increased. It was no longer just a faint transmission but a pulsing, almost rhythmic communication that seemed to respond to their proximity. "It's like the planet is aware of our approach," Elena muttered, her fingers dancing across complex translation matrices. Captain Nomura understood the weight of their potential discovery. Humanity had long searched for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence. Countless missions, billions of dollars, and decades of technological advancement had yielded nothing more than tantalizing hints and statistical probabilities. Now, they stood on the precipice of potentially the most significant moment in human history. "Prepare the landing team," she commanded. "Dr. Takashi, Lieutenant Rodriguez, you'll be part of the initial reconnaissance. We'll maintain strict first contact protocols." The landing shuttle detached from the Horizon Prime, its sleek design cutting through the planet's upper atmosphere. Strange geological formations passed beneath them, crystalline mountain ranges that reflected light in impossible geometric patterns, vast plains marked by what seemed like intentional, almost architectural terrain modifications. As they descended, the signal grew stronger. It was no longer just a transmission but felt like a living, breathing invitation. None of them could have predicted the extraordinary encounter that awaited them, a discovery that would challenge everything humanity understood about life, intelligence, and their place in the universe. The first step towards an incredible journey was about to be taken. Decoding the mystery. The landing shuttle touched down on the planet's surface with a gentle hiss of hydraulics. Captain Zara Nomura watched from the Horizon Prime's bridge as the external cameras transmitted the first real-time images of the alien landscape. Dr. Kai Takeshi's voice crackled through the communication system, filled with a mix of scientific excitement and cautious professionalism. Initial surface readings are extraordinary. The geological composition defies our current understanding of planetary formation. Lieutenant Elena Rodriguez worked frantically at her translation console, the mysterious signal now a constant background hum that seemed to pulse with an almost organic rhythm. The signal is definitely trying to communicate, she reported. But it's not like any language pattern we've ever encountered. The landing team, Kai, Elena, and two security specialists, Marcus Way and Aria Gonzalez, cautiously exited the shuttle. The planet's atmosphere was breathable, but slightly denser than Earth's, with a faint lavender tinge that gave the sky an almost dreamlike quality. Around them, the landscape told a story of deliberate manipulation. What first appeared to be natural rock formations revealed subtle signs of engineering. Crystalline structures seemed to grow in mathematically precise patterns, too perfect to be entirely natural. These aren't just geological formations, Kai muttered, running his handheld scanner over a nearby crystal formation. Look at the molecular alignment. These structures have been guided, almost cultivated. Elena's translation work continued. The signal was complex, layered with multiple data streams that seemed to communicate on several levels simultaneously. It was like trying to understand a symphony by listening to individual instrument notes. It's not just a language, she explained to the team. It's more like a multidimensional communication system. Parts of it are mathematical, parts are almost emotional. Marcus Way, typically stoic and focused on security, looked uneasy. Something's watching us, he said, his hand instinctively moving to his weapon. I can feel it. As if in response to his statement, the ground beneath them began to subtly change. The crystalline structures shifted, almost imperceptibly at first, then with increasing complexity. Patterns emerged, geometric shapes that seemed to pulse with an inner light. Aria Gonzalez, her scientific background kicking in, began documenting everything. The entire landscape is responsive, she reported. These aren't just static formations. They're adaptive. Suddenly, Elena's translation console erupted with activity. A burst of complex data flooded her screens, breaking through the previous communication barriers. I've got something, she shouted. It's a message. The message was fragmented, but clear enough to send a chill down their spines. Translated roughly, it read, "Survivors seek connection. Last hope. Preservation protocol activated." Captain Nomura, listening from the ship, understood the implications immediately. This was more than just a signal. This was a cry for help from something, or someone, that had been waiting for an impossibly long time. Dr. Kai Takeshi approached one of the larger crystal formations. As he drew closer, the structure seemed to respond, creating intricate patterns that danced with light and shadow. It's like the entire planet is a single, massive communication device, he said in awe. The team's discovery was far more complex than a simple alien signal. They had stumbled upon what appeared to be the remnants of an advanced civilization, one that had found a way to encode its entire existence into the very fabric of a planetary ecosystem. Elena's continued translation revealed fragmented histories. Glimpses of a civilization that had faced some catastrophic event, that had found a way to preserve itself not through traditional means like technology or biological stasis, but by becoming one with their planetary environment. They didn't just survive, Elena whispered. They transformed. As night began to fall on this alien world, the crystal formations began to glow with an inner light, creating a landscape that was simultaneously beautiful and terrifying. The signal continued, now no longer just a transmission, but a living, breathing invitation to understand. Humanity had found something extraordinary. And their journey was just beginning. The ethical dilemma. Back on Earth, the Interstellar Exploration Committee convened an emergency session. The holographic transmission from the Horizon Prime played on repeat, showing the extraordinary crystalline landscapes and the mysterious signal that had captivated humanity's imagination. Dr. Elena Rodriguez's linguistic breakthrough was both a triumph and a source of intense debate. The signal contained fragments of what appeared to be a civilization's last desperate attempt to preserve its existence. But what did that mean? A message? A warning? A plea for help? Admiral Helena Reyes, head of the Interstellar Defense Council, looked grave. "We're talking about potentially engaging with an unknown intelligence that could pose an existential threat to humanity," she argued, her weathered hands clasped tightly on the conference table. Opposite her, Dr. Martin Chen, the chief scientific advisor, presented a different perspective. "Every moment we hesitate is a moment we might lose the most significant discovery in human history," he countered. "This isn't just about scientific curiosity. This could be our first genuine opportunity for meaningful interstellar communication." The debate raged for days. The Horizon Prime's crew remained in orbit around the mysterious planet, collecting data but under strict orders not to make any further direct contact until a decision was reached. On the ship, tensions were equally high. Captain Zara Nomura found herself caught between her scientific curiosity and her military training. Dr. Kai Takeshi had become almost obsessive in his analysis of the planetary signals. "It's not just a message," Kai explained to Zara during a late-night strategy meeting. "It's a complete ecological communication system. The crystals, the ground, the atmospheric composition, they're all part of a single, massive information network." Lieutenant Elena Rodriguez had made significant progress in decoding the signal's deeper layers. "There are emotional components," she explained, her eyes showing both excitement and exhaustion. "It's like the planet itself is experiencing something, remembering, mourning, hoping." The security team remained on high alert. Marcus Way and Aria Gonzalez had begun to notice subtle changes in their environment. Equipment would sometimes malfunction near the crystal formations. Occasionally, they'd catch glimpses of patterns that seemed to move just at the edge of perception. Back on Earth, the debate came to a head. The Interstellar Exploration Committee was deeply divided. Some argued for immediate intervention, seeing a potential to save what might be the last remnants of an advanced civilization. Others saw only potential risk, a possible trap or an unknown threat to human survival. Dr. Martin Chen presented a compelling argument. "Throughout human history, our greatest advances have come from moments of connection, of reaching out beyond our immediate understanding," he told the committee. "If we turn away now, we're not just refusing contact with an alien civilization. We're refusing the very spirit of human exploration." Admiral Reyes remained unconvinced. "We have a responsibility to protect humanity first," she insisted. "One misunderstood signal could lead to our extinction." The debate was broadcast globally, capturing the world's imagination. Social media erupted with discussions, theories, and passionate arguments about humanity's potential first contact with an alien intelligence. On the Horizon Prime, the crew waited. Every passing hour increased the tension. The planetary signal continued, a constant, pulsing reminder of the extraordinary discovery waiting just beyond their understanding. Captain Nomura knew the decision would ultimately rest on a knife's edge. The potential for discovery battled against the very real risks of the unknown. As the debate continued, no one noticed the subtle changes happening on the planet below. The crystal formations were becoming more active, responding to the increased human attention. Something was awakening, something that had been waiting for an impossibly long time. The fate of two civilizations hung in the balance, waiting for humanity to make its next move. Preparation and journey. The decision came swiftly and unexpectedly. A compromise emerged from the heated debates. The Horizon Prime would be authorized to conduct a limited, carefully controlled investigation of the mysterious planet. A specialized team would be assembled, combining the ship's existing crew with additional experts from various scientific disciplines. Dr. Kai Takeshi found himself at the center of the preparations. The crystal formations they had discovered challenged every known principle of planetary science, biology, and communication. His team worked around the clock, developing specialized equipment to interact with the planet's unique ecosystem. Lieutenant Elena Rodriguez had become the primary translator, her linguistic skills pushed to their absolute limit. The signal was more complex than anyone had initially understood, less a language and more a living, breathing form of communication that existed across multiple dimensions of perception. Captain Zara Nomura oversaw the mission preparations with her characteristic blend of military precision and scientific curiosity. The Horizon Prime underwent extensive modifications. New shielding systems were installed, designed to protect against unknown forms of energy or communication interference. Specialized containment units were built to safely study samples from the planet. The team expanded to include Dr. Lucia Ramirez, a quantum physicist specializing in exotic matter interactions, and Professor James Okoro, an expert in xenobiology who had spent decades studying the theoretical possibilities of non-carbon-based life forms. As they prepared, the planetary signal continued its constant, rhythmic pulse. It seemed to be waiting, not threatening, but expectant. Marcus Way and Aria Gonzalez led the security preparations. Their team developed entirely new protocols for potential first contact scenarios. They studied every historical account of human encounters with unknown environments, from deep-sea expeditions to extreme polar research. The global community watched with bated breath. Social media buzzed with speculation. Scientific institutions around the world collaborated, sharing insights and theories about the mysterious planet and its potential inhabitants. Dr. Martin Chen, who had been instrumental in pushing for the mission, worked tirelessly to prepare public communication strategies. "We need to be prepared for anything," he told a gathering of international press. This could be the most significant moment in human history. The Horizon Prime's mission parameters were clear but complex. They were to conduct a comprehensive scientific investigation of the planet. Attempt to establish meaningful communication. Assess any potential risks to human exploration. Preserve and document every aspect of their discovery. As the final preparations were completed, an air of anticipation settled over the ship. The crystal formations they had previously studied seemed to pulse with increased intensity, as if aware of the impending return. Dr. Kai Takeshi made a breakthrough that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. The planetary signal wasn't just a message, it was a form of memory. The crystals appeared to be storing information in ways that defied current understanding of data storage and transmission. "It's like the entire planet is a living memory bank," he explained during a final briefing. "Each crystal formation contains layers of information so complex that we've only begun to scratch the surface." Lieutenant Elena Rodriguez added her own insight. "The emotional components we detected aren't just random. They seem to be a form of collective consciousness, something that exists beyond individual life forms." As the Horizon Prime prepared for its descent, no one could shake the feeling that they were about to cross a threshold. This was more than a scientific expedition. This was humanity's potential first step into a truly alien understanding of existence. The planet waited. The signal continued. And humanity held its breath, ready to take its most significant journey yet. Encounter and resolution. The descent to the planet's surface was unlike anything the Horizon Prime's crew had ever experienced. As they approached, the crystal formations below began to shift and pulse with an intensity that defied all scientific understanding. It was as if the entire planet was preparing to communicate. Captain Zara Nomura gripped the command console, her knuckles white. "Prepare for landing," she commanded, her voice steady despite the unprecedented nature of their mission. Dr. Kai Takeshi monitored the scientific instruments, which were going haywire. The energy readings are off the charts, he reported. It's like the planet is responding to our approach. Lieutenant Elena Rodriguez worked frantically on the translation systems. The signal had transformed from a simple transmission to a complex, multi-layered communication that seemed to exist simultaneously on multiple levels of perception. The landing was smooth, almost too smooth. As the shuttle's doors opened, the team found themselves surrounded by a landscape that was both familiar and utterly alien. The crystal formations that had previously appeared static now moved with purpose, creating intricate patterns that seemed to breathe and pulse with an inner light. "It's aware," Dr. Lucia Ramirez whispered, her quantum physics background struggling to comprehend what she was witnessing. "The entire planetary ecosystem is a single, coherent intelligence." Professor James Okoro approached one of the larger crystal formations, his hand outstretched. The moment he was within proximity, the crystals began to shift, creating a holographic projection that filled the surrounding area. Images began to form, memories, histories, fragments of a civilization that had existed beyond traditional understanding. The team watched in awe as the story unfolded. The crystals revealed a civilization that had faced an existential threat. Rather than face extinction, they had found a way to preserve their collective consciousness within the very fabric of their planet. They hadn't died, they had transformed, becoming one with their environment. Elena's translation skills reached their pinnacle. "They're not asking for rescue," she said, her voice filled with wonder. "They're offering connection." The projection showed how this civilization had survived countless planetary catastrophes by evolving beyond physical form. They had become a living memory, a collective consciousness that could adapt, learn, and potentially communicate with other intelligent life. Marcus Way and Aria Gonzalez, typically focused on security, found themselves mesmerized. The threat they had feared was nothing like what they had imagined. This was an invitation, a chance to understand a form of existence that transcended everything humanity had ever known. Dr. Kai Takeshi realized the true significance of their discovery. "This isn't just first contact," he said. "This is a complete reimagining of what intelligence can be." The planetary consciousness began to share its knowledge. Technological insights, scientific understanding, and philosophical concepts that were generations beyond human comprehension began to flow through the crystal formations. It was a gift. A preservation of knowledge that had survived for millennia, waiting for a species capable of understanding. Captain Nomura understood the weight of the moment. This discovery would change everything. Human understanding of life, consciousness, and our place in the universe would never be the same. As the transmission concluded, the crystal formations began to settle. The planet seemed to sigh, a collective exhalation of hope, of connection finally achieved. Humanity had not just made first contact. They had been invited into a cosmic understanding that few could have ever imagined possible. The journey was just beginning.